Today we're going to be looking at some video capture and gameplay of various late 90s games from my compact Deskpro EN, which is a Pentium III machine running my brand new Voodoo 4 Mini-Me. This Voodoo 4 has a native HDMI output port, so I've recently picked up a quite good value little HDMI to USB video capture dongle. I'm going to do a separate video about that in future because it's a fantastic value and I think very useful for capturing video from these kind of machines. So I've got Windows 2000 on this computer. Honestly, it's one of my favorite retro operating systems. It's reliable. It runs the majority of the games that I want to play. I do need to build up a proper powerful Windows 98 machine in future, but for now Windows 2000 is pretty much my go-to from like anything Pentium III onwards up to mid-late model P4s. Anything with hyper-threading that works better on Windows XP, but for Windows lower machines the Windows 2000 is great. So it's just booting up now, as you can see, capturing, and it's 1024 by 768. So yeah, it does take a little bit of time. It's got an IDE hard disk in it and 384 meg RAM, but it's a great little machine, and there's a few great games that I want to show you guys. So let's just kick off with a Winamp sound check once it's loaded, and make sure all that's working, and then we can move on to a range of games. I love it. Lots of fun memories of using Winamp back in the day. So the first game we're going to play is Gunman Chronicles. This is a really great Half-Life conversion, basically. Definitely worth playing if you enjoy Half-Life 1. It's basically like cowboys in space. It's like a complete conversion. It's got some great guns and weapons. The storyline's pretty good. Reasonably scripted, but it's quite fun. So let's load up a saved game that I've got. But yeah, it runs great on this machine. I played the whole game through on it. This is one of the later levels, I believe. But yeah, all the guns are quite unique. And there's like a right click to have custom modes set for the guns, which can get a bit confusing. But it just looks great. It's got that Half-Life 1 sort of look and feel, that blocky look, but I really do like the way it looks and it runs. Such a smooth game. And the story's pretty good. So I'm doing a terrible job here. But that's to be expected. I was filming this through the capture card, so there's a fair bit of latency when doing that. Not significantly, but enough to make it a bit difficult to play. basically in this level you need to kill all of these xenomes to stop them from attacking this your friend here.
My plan is working, Gunman. The war drone is weakening the xenomes, Gunman.
Pretty sure I'm about to lose this. Cool. Great game, worth playing if you're after that kind of thing. So the other games I've played on this is Red Alert 2, but what I want to show you guys today is a little bit of Tiberian Sun. I started replaying the CNC remake, which is good, but the gameplay and the mechanics in Tiberian Sun and Red Alert 2 are just that step higher, much more enjoyable. Tiberian Sun ended up being quite a hard single player mission, I remember playing it again. In fact, no, I never played it back in the day, but playing it on this machine and everything, there was definitely some pretty tough single player missions. But yeah, it's definitely worth playing Tiberian Sun and Red Alert 2. Some of my favourite RTS games with great storyline and good videos. A bit slow to load because I had to actually put the CD in. Now I think this runs at a slightly lower resolution and the capture card doesn't upscale it automatically, whereas if you run an LCD it does. So I think this was an 800 by 600, so maybe a little bit hard to see, and it was reasonably difficult to play on via the capture card. But definitely a great game for this era of machine, and definitely worth playing. Just like the atmosphere of Tiberian Sun, so like the lightning effects and stuff. It's a really cool game. It feels a bit darker than Red Alert 2 actually, which is cool. This mission was a real pain in the ass. I definitely had to read a guide on this one. But the art style is just so good. I actually think better than Red Alert 2 in some ways. But yeah, the scrolling was a bit difficult using the doing it via the capture card. But yeah, in this one you're getting shot by these mortar vehicles, and you can basically not build anywhere. It's difficult basically.
Harvester under attack.
Yes, sir. Moving out.
Insufficient funds. Harvester under attack. On hold. Building. Construction complete.
And I think they start attacking you as well from the top, so it's this mission was difficult.
Building. Harvester under attack. Construction.
But just look at it; it just looks so nice. Such a nice game.
Unable to comply. Building in progress. Cannot deploy here. Battle control offline.
So yeah, those Tiberian Sun and Red Alert 2 definitely worth playing. So let's try some other games. Ah yes, a bit of Unreal Tournament. Now this runs great on a Voodoo 4 with Glide. The music's great too in this game. So I think my favourite map was it Opposing Worlds or Face? I don't remember the actual name of it, but yes, I actually I think often we used to play it with the gravity turned quite down. I think that added a lot to this level, but yeah, definitely one of my favourite LAN party games back in the day. And you'll see it runs really nicely in 1024 on this computer. So I think I thought the gravity was turned down. And yes, I've definitely got some skins on the characters, I think. Yes, I think of all the games I've been trying out today, this one I would have quite easily just got back into and played a lot of it. It's it's good, even with the bots, it's quite fun. It's just interesting going back and playing Quake 3. I always preferred this game over Quake 3 originally, but Quake 3 is so simple. It is a very nice game to play as well. Depends what you feel like doing. A little bit faster paced, Quake 3.
I've got the flag.
Cool. Yeah, great game. Really, really fun. So let's take a look at some Starcraft. Starcraft 1 is still by far my favourite of the franchise. The music's great, the atmosphere is great, and I actually prefer the original Starcraft, not even Brood War. I just like, it's just such a well-balanced game, got great replayability. Yeah, it has a real good atmosphere about it. So I'm just doing a replay of a mission I did. And as you can see here, it's powering through it. Pentium III is great for this game. I remember like there were some bugs with, I don't know if it's present on this version, but if you sped up the replay too much, the computer got confused and the replay ended up being totally different to the actual outcome of the game. And I think maybe that's actually happened in this one. Music's just so good. Even playing the demo of Starcraft back in the day, it was great fun. I think this is actually my base here. I always play as a bit of a turtle. I like to just have massive defenses. It usually doesn't work very well. But yeah, great single player. The missions are really enjoyable with this game. Not as hard as Red Alert 2 or Tiberian Sun. Those were hard, those games. Actually, Red Alert 2 wasn't too bad, but Tiberian Sun, some of those missions were very difficult. And without looking at the player guides, you had to basically play the missions over and over again. Yeah, I suppose the good thing about Starcraft is that it's so balanced, whereas Red Alert 2 multiplayer is very fun, but yeah, definitely there's some balancing issues in that game. It's really more a single player game, Red Alert 2. But yeah, the 2D quality of these 3DFX cards is so good. There is a little bit of reduced quality when I was capturing it. I don't think the capture card's the best. It was $15, but still great value. So Quake 3 is probably, at the resolution I'm running it here, pushing it a little bit for this machine. A Voodoo 5 would be perfect for 1024. And this is one of the few games where you really do want to run it in 32-bit colour. You can really, like when you shoot the rocket launcher and stuff, you can really see the pixelation if you're in 16-bit colour. So I think for this game, a Voodoo 5 is about perfect. But it still works pretty well. It's surprising how scalable this game is, really. It'll go all the way down to Pentium 1 and can run it, sort of.
You have taken the lead.
So yeah, definitely playable, but can lag a bit. This is not a particularly heavy map. It's a good looking game, this, actually. My first 3D video card back in the day was actually a TNT2 M64 PCI running on a Pentium 133. It was definitely overkill video card for that computer, but it did give me a lot of options to play games. I tried to play Half-Life 1 on it, but could never finish it. It was too slow on that machine. I later upgraded to a Duron 800, and that machine was definitely fast enough. But yeah, Quake 3, lots of fun. Good little shooter. So have a quick look at Half-Life. Again, played a lot of deathmatch in this game. I remember I had the Pentium 133 and my friend had a Pentium II 350, and I was very jealous of the Pentium 2. It played the game really nicely. But here on the Pentium 3 with the Voodoo 4, it will run very well. I think I'm just fixing the resolution. The game can be a bit finicky sometimes, but if you've updated it, it can work pretty well. So the map I like is Crossfire. This one's got like a bunker with a nuke, so you can, even though it's just normal deathmatch, if you jump in there, you can nuke everyone else in the map. So that's pretty fun. It's got such good weapons too. And yeah, it runs nicely on the Voodoo 4. Definitely very playable. But yeah, this game definitely likes having a faster CPU. So that's where the button comes out after a time limit, so you can call them the air strike or nuke in. So, but you can, it's always fun because you can run up the sides and drop down. So you can run up here just as the front door closes, the blast doors, you can actually jump in down here. It's always usually someone waiting there to shoot you, that's for sure. Snarks. That seems like a bad idea. But yeah, the Voodoo 4 PCI for this card was, because this computer doesn't have an AGP port, definitely almost perfect for this computer. And having the HDMI out means I can capture pretty good quality video and also use it directly on my LCD. So we're really loving having that capability. I suppose you could probably get like a GeForce FX 5500 PCI with a DVI port and just whack a HDMI to DVI to HDMI converter on it. So yeah, great deathmatch Half-Life 1, that's for sure. So the other game I want to show you is Dark Reign 2. Now this is an interesting game. I think it was quite popular in Australia. I never played it back in the day, but I've only just started playing it, and it's got a great atmosphere. It seems like one of the first 3D RTS games. And yeah, it's actually pretty cool. You can zoom in and out with your scroll wheel. It gives you like that zoom in that you get on some of the newer CNC games. It's got 32-bit color. Yeah, it's a nice looking game. It's actually quite fun, the gameplay. I haven't fully got into it yet. I haven't played too much of it, but there's quite a lot of missions, it looks like, and yeah, it's a fairly varied gameplay, so it's good.
We will follow the captured Voodoo up the mountain.
Yes, sir.
The lab is located northwest of our current position.
Yeah, nice
We can
looking
order
game.
our troops to follow the Voodoo automatically as he climbs the mountain. Select a group of our troops. Then select the Guard option from our Orders menu. Finally, select our Voodoo prisoner. The designated troops will now follow him wherever he goes. Now that the captured Voodoo is leading our troops up to Togra's lab, we can begin building up our base facilities and defenses.
Roger that.
Sprawler attacks appear to be intensifying. We can strengthen our defenses by building sentry guns. Select a construction rig to view our build menu, then build a sentry gun near our base.
I think the only thing I'd say is a lot of the units do look fairly similar. It can be a bit hard to know what you're doing there. But yeah, the gameplay is surprisingly good. Bit of an underrated RTS game, I think. If you're after something from this era and you've played everything else, I'd give this game a shot.
Awaiting command. Moving out.
And yeah, I think I even tried this on my Pentium 200 MMX with the Voodoo 2.
Complete.
So I think that worked okay. Definitely better on this with the Voodoo 4. The video quality is so nice. But yeah, no, Dark Reign 2, definitely worth giving it a shot. So I think, if I remember correctly, that is everything. It's a great machine for the era, and yeah, this capture card is great. I'll do a separate video of it. Yeah, that's right. I can do a little bit of browsing of Vogon's wiki on here. I've got a page on this computer that you can look at all the specs and some benchmarks I've done. I've tested a various range of video cards, but this one actually seems like a really good fit for it. But yeah, this is the machine, and this is the video card that we're using, made by Anthony from Russia. Fantastic video card. Really happy to have that. I've got another video about installing that and some more screenshots, so you can check a look at my channel. And this is the machine, so it's tiny, little low profile computer, so it's perfect. So that's pretty much the video. I hope you've enjoyed it, and yeah, happy gpujune. And there's so much other videos to check out, so have a look through the playlist. Some of the guys have done some great stuff. Yeah, I love seeing all this great stuff. Cool. Have a great day, guys. Thanks. Bye.